We are two wanderers at dawn of the world.
Hello beautiful people, thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please remember to subscribe, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for stopping by as always. In today's vlog, I'm going to be showing you how I relocated from Nigeria to Canada. This day was the day I was waiting for, like my life depended on it. Well, a part of my life did, to be honest, because it was such a long ride. So this package from DHL was my stamped passport that had just come back, and I was looking at the time and looking forward to when DHL was gonna call me. Like, I kept looking at my phone so I don't miss it. I was super excited. All through this video, you're going to be seeing different scenes of how I bought stuffs and how I was able to pack some clothes, particularly my jean. I was worried about space, and I found this cool method on YouTube where I was able to pack the jean this way. It saved me a lot of space, to be honest. And then I found myself in Garki Market trying to get a winter jacket because I was going to be landing when there was still winter. So this place was a really good place. I had lots of options. I was here with my friend, and we're able to get me a very nice winter jacket, really thick winter jacket, because when I landed here, my friend said it was an overkill. I went for an overkill for that jacket. So those are head warmers. I was able to get socks and gloves, even though I eventually bought other types, but at least for the initial landing phase, I had to get all of these. So little backstory here. In 2020 January, I decided to put in my application for the Canadian Express Entry program, and I started with the whole West evaluation. I'm going to do a detailed video to break down every step of the way, but this is just a summary of how everything turned out for me. I started with West evaluation, and then I wrote my IELTS. I was ready. I jumped into the pool, and then in August 4th, 2020, I was called out of the pool to apply. Very exciting time. And then by November 7th, I'd submitted my application, and I was hopeful because they were like 4 to 6 months your application was going to be done processing, and the long wait started. I'm very sure if you have anyone who's done this, or anyone who is in the process currently, you understand how messed up COVID made everything look. Everything came to a halt. Processing times became longer. Just this video now is just me trying to get gloves and all those things. This was in Karimo Market in Abuja. I was based in Abuja, so I went to Karimo Market to get this. This was a recommendation from someone on where to get this thing. So just keep enjoying the video in the background while I give this story. And then I had to wait from November of 2020, the whole of 2021, there was no word. So my life felt like a standstill. Like I wasn't going forward. Backward wasn't an option, of course, but I just didn't know what to do because this decision was pretty huge. If I was going to leave the country, then I had to put certain projects I wanted to do on pause, because it would be distracting if I had to focus on both of them at the same time. But then, to cut the long story short, Canada came through 2022 in February. Now, I'm just going to pause a bit. This was me trying to pack my food and label them so that I would know what was what by the time I arrived. I took gari, I took beans, that beans was heavy, my goodness. I took lots of fish, that's fish there, crayfish, dry vegetables, and everything that I could carry. So in February of 2022, Canada came through. I'm going to be interjecting my story because this is the airport. My flight was an early morning flight. That's my sister and my parents are in front, and we had to rush to the airport very early in the morning so I could catch my flight. I barely slept that night. I think I slept for like 2 hours. I was super stressed. But then Canada came through in 2022 February, and then I had to start planning ASAP on how to leave the country, because you're also given a time frame on when to respond. So this is just a summary of all I did. It was I was telling myself I won't be so emotional, but trust me, it wasn't that simple, especially when you have to give your family the last hug to say, oh, okay, I'm leaving now. Of course, I'm going to be back to visit, but we don't know how soon that will be. So I used British Airways. This was my first lap of the flight to London Heathrow. The British Airways flight was smooth. We had a nice ride, although I wasn't so comfortable with the food. This was London Heathrow, and it was a very long trip from the gate. I've forgotten the gate I dropped, and all the way down to the next gate to catch my connecting flight to Toronto. So it was a very long trip. I was so exhausted, but then we had to do what we had to do. I met fellow Nigerians who were also heading to Canada, though not the same location. But then we kept moving. At this point, I think I'll just let you enjoy a bit of the video, and then I'll come over to say some things towards the end. I hope you enjoy. Please also remember to subscribe. Thank you.
We are two wanderers at dawn of the world full of war. Early sunrise, I gave promise. You said always, and we running dead. I'm following, I'm preaching, you're my church. I'm yin and yang, you're my eve, I'm your ab. And no one is right, or this world is so blind. Feel no doubts in your eyes, and always, and we running dead.
The next lap of the flight from London Heathrow to Toronto was just me sleeping and eating whatever I could. I understood a bit of some of the meals I was eating, so I would say it was better. I was exhausted. I was just sleeping. This is Toronto Airport. I was done with immigration at this point because if you're coming in as an immigrant, they get to check all of your papers and all of that. At this point, I just needed a bed. Like, I just wanted to just have a shower, lie down, and just sleep. The good thing was, I had eye bags. My goodness, I was tired. Overall, I spent 18 hours on this trip. And the good thing was I was breaking my trip. I was going to be staying over in Toronto for a couple of days. And yes, the snow greeted me, to be honest. Like, this is the snow. I was going to be staying over in Toronto for a couple of days before moving to my final destination in the city of Calgary. So I stayed over in Toronto. The neighborhood was really, really nice. You're going to be seeing the neighborhood really soon. This is the neighborhood. Really nice place. Quiet playground, but it was cold. It was so cold. But then we're fine. I stayed here for a couple of days, and then I was able to catch my flight to my final destination. My next flight was pretty boring because there was no in-flight entertainment per se, but it was smooth. It was a 4-hour flight from Toronto to Calgary, and then I got to my new location where I was going to be staying. I'd initially pre-planned that and paid for a house, so I just moved straight to the house. Overall, it was a nice trip. I'm happy I got here safely. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. More content is going to be coming. Please remember to subscribe so that you'd know when I post the next video. Put on your notification as well. Yes, thank you for watching. And yes, this is my new neighborhood in Calgary. Thank you.